Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about He Said, She Said by Erin Kelly. Now, this book is new. I purchased it from Amazon. It was released in June of 2017. In fact, yes, this is the first US edition. I first heard about this book on Goodreads, I think. There were some people who were marking it as want to read, so I checked out the little synopsis, and sure enough, I wanted to read it too. The story is about Kit and Laura, who have been together for over 15 years, and the book revolves around events that happened in 1999 when the two of them were at a music festival that coincided with a solar eclipse. Kit is a scientist who is a bit obsessed with celestial events, including and especially solar eclipses. He's seen several. So the eclipse is what put Kit and Laura in a certain area of England at a certain time in 1999. While there, they interrupt the rape of a girl named Beth. And it is that moment that changes all four of their lives forever. Kit and Laura, Beth the victim, and Jamie the alleged rapist. The book itself moves back and forth between present time and those events in 1999 and 2000. So what we see in the present is that Kit and Laura are married. Laura is pregnant with twins, and we learn that they've been hiding for the majority of the last 15 years. We don't know why they're really hiding, other than they're avoiding Beth, the victim from the crime in 1999. In the present time, Kit is getting ready to leave Laura so that he can go see another solar eclipse, and she's staying behind in their home. And it's obvious to the reader that Laura has issues with anxiety and paranoia. Physically manifested panic attacks plague her. And so in the first scenes, a dependence is established between Laura and Kit. Laura very much depends on Kit to keep her grounded and keep her safe, at least, you know, give her the impression that she's safe. And so she's very anxious that he's going away, and she's very anxious of what could possibly happen to him while he's gone. Beth apparently has followed them intermittently throughout the last 15 years, showing up in places that Kit has gone to view solar eclipses, and the reader doesn't really know what the danger is, but because of what's happening, we understand that there is something. The rest of the book is about finding out exactly why they're terrified of Beth. Now, I'm not gonna lie, pretend, sugarcoat anything. I didn't care for this book. First off, the pace is incredibly slow. The first 2/3 of this book, nothing happens. You know, we're carried through events by the author, whether it's a past event or a present event, but nothing happens. Nothing sparks excitement. It's just sort of factual retellings of where people are, what's going on, what led up to the, you know, events of 1999. We're just being told things for about 2/3 of the book. Then things actually start to happen. Actual events that excite or creep out the reader actually start to happen. At that point, it's too late. And I said, I think it was in my Goodreads review, that I saw, you know, a couple of people DNF this book, and I have no doubt that if you DNF this book, it's in the first 2/3, because the pace is so slow. Even once things get exciting and action driven, the pace doesn't necessarily pick up. We're still in the moment and then removed from the moment to visit the past and then in the moment. And don't get me wrong, there is a very talented weaving of timelines that the author engages us in, and well, I'll talk about the writing in a little bit, but so for the story, the pace is the major reason that I did not care for this book. Not only that, and I'm not gonna spoil anything for you about, I'm not gonna do that, but at the end of the book, every character has lost something. There's really no happy at the end of this book. There's okay and there's resolution, but of the 4 people that I've mentioned, they've all lost something that in a way makes them less than they were when the book started. So that's unusual for me. I guess I don't often encounter books where the characters are in a worse position by the end than they were in the beginning, especially the main characters and the protagonists that you're normally really rooting for. This book is sort of depressing because of that. This book is sort of, and I'm not saying, I mean, it's that's real life, right? We don't all get a happy ending. We don't all get something that we want. Sometimes we lose the things that we want, and I get that. But being that it was so slow getting through, and then the punch in the gut that, boom, you're depressed after you read it, I was just kind of like, man, that sucks. That's a bummer. Those are my complaints about it. As far as the writing is concerned, and as far as the author Erin Kelly is concerned, whom I have to admit I know nothing about, the book is well written. I mean, the book, like I said, beautifully weaves 2 complete timelines throughout. It's told in dual perspective point of view between Kit and Laura. So you've got Kit in the present and Kit in the past, and Laura in the present and Laura in the past. And it could all have gotten very muddled and confusing, and instead it worked. It didn't work to help the pace, but it didn't hinder the pace either. What hindered the pace was just plot. The timeline did okay. The book is told in 4 parts, which intends to coincide with the 4 stages of a solar eclipse. There's a lot of scientific themed elements and a lot of scientific and celestial imagery, and I can sort of tell that this is something that maybe the author was passionate about. If not, then she latched on to something that she knew some people would find intriguing and interesting. I am just not that person. Sorry, it got dark there for a second. I had to stop because the clouds are being dumb. Okay, and we're back with some sunlight. I'm not a science person. I actually, funny story, failed astronomy in college because there's math involved. And I'm not mathy. I'm not mathy. I'm not sciencey. I'm artsy and Englishy. Literary. That's about it. So while the eclipse and scientific elements of this book would be absolutely fantastic and rewarding for someone who's into those things, it didn't do anything for me. It did not help me care about this book. So maybe if they were art nerds instead of science nerds, I could have I could have related a little bit more and I could have cared a little bit more. So I was disappointed that I didn't like this book. I guess I can't really say I was disappointed in the book. I think the book is successful in a lot of ways, and I know just from reading reviews and comments, and there are people out there who like it. I'm not one of those people. So the book isn't a total tragic failure. It was just a total tragic failure for me. But I'm hoping that more people that I know, either in real life, who am I kidding? I don't know anyone in real life. I'm hoping more people that I know on BookTube will read this book, and I can gauge where I fall on the like or not like spectrum of this book. I'm not going to keep this. I'm not going to keep it. For those of you who know about my back and forth with Ruth Ware, Ruth Ware does call this book a gripping, twisting, furiously clever read that asks all the right questions and keeps you guessing until the very end. I didn't find it gripping. I will say that it was furiously clever and that it does keep you guessing to the very end. And I also have to mention that there's a major twist in this book, and it's major. I did not see it coming at all. And it is something that completely changes the game. For sure. So if you like to be shocked by stuff like that, regardless of whether it is a good kind of twist or a bad kind of twist, or works out well for characters or doesn't work out well for characters, then you might want to read this book just to see if the twist is telegraphed to you sooner, or if you happen to guess it sooner than I did. I didn't guess it at all. Who am I kidding? So that is the one thing that this book does have going for it, is a really shocking twist, but not the kind of twist you want to see happen ever. If you have read He Said, She Said, please let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. If you want to know more about it, you can check out the links I've posted or ask me questions in the comments as well. Give this video a thumbs up if you had a good time, and consider subscribing if you don't hang out here much. I have one more review for you coming up, and it will be a really good one. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you all very soon.